All right. Live on TikTok, live on YouTube for the 7:30 or July 30th trading session. So, just getting started here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna get to turn our music on. All right. Oh, God. Morning. No Bodhi today, sadly. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. Heading into today, just a quick breakdown what I'm seeing so far. Well, made new hourly lows here. So let me try to get this into the frame. So low there, came up, and then yesterday we made new hourly lows as well. So right here, broke this low, price pulled back, and then we made another new hourly low. So our current bearish range on ES, in my opinion, is from 7482.75 to 7324. So that is the current bearish range that I am seeing right now. Price right now has pulled back into discount from our bearish range, if you can see that right there, and we're testing the previous day point of control. So this is a strong resistance area that I was watching. I actually took a trade during the Asia session today. So if we look at this here, so at open today, for today's session open, you see these massive gaps we created right in here. So I was watching those because basically throughout the entire early half of the session we were just consolidating here. So I put, and I don't usually do this, but I just thought it was a perfect setup, was that when I went to bed, put a limit order down at 7366. So I put a limit order down at 7366, had my stop below the low of day, and I just wanted to target that 50% line in the previous day point of control, and we hit that. So I took this trade during the Asia session right here. It was only a 1-to-1, so lighter risk too. I don't really like to trade in the overnight session, but it's just been, the setups have been really good lately, so I decided to just give it a stab, and we can see here that that trade worked out perfectly. Once again, it was lighter size. I just wanted to see what would happen, but it ended up working out. And the nice part was it all happened while I was sleeping, so there was no me stressing out about the trade or messing with it. So anyway, it was too good to pass. And I've been, lately I watched the Asia session and I put down trades on paper. So this time I decided to just actually put risk on. And you know what? Here we go. It happened. So 1 for 1 on the day so far with this trade during the overnight session. And yeah, woke up and I was like, oh cool, we're almost at target. And then, during that first cup of coffee, hit target, and I was like, cool, cheers, good start to the Thursday. So we have some wiggle room going into today. Bodhi is sadly out today. He's also going to his grandparents this weekend because I am traveling. Traveling to Nashville. Never been, but I'm excited. Actually, we'll leave that on. Just put it like over here. All right, we're gonna add in our session volume profile and our VWAP. We'll add our engulfing candles. So let's add in some previous. Way too. I know, I'm pretty excited. I've never been either, so it's for a wedding for a friend. So should be a grand old time. See some old friends, meet some new friends. All right, heading into today, I do think we could see some more selling, but right now we're pretty bullish, and I marked out, so our 618 and 0.79 are resting right in there. So I marked that out as a little zone here. Potentially if I want to, so if we get a spike, which I'd like to see this at open, let's potentially see a spike down here into the 200 EMA, VWAP, and our current day point of control, and then see some support, and then potentially look at longs up into our 618 level. So it's a potential bullish plan. But if we open up and absolutely rip through all this, then I think we see continued selling. But that is what I'm watching for right now. We're going to mark out this low right here. We're going to mark out this low. And then we're going to obviously mark out our swing low. So we're going to do it like that. We're going to go solid line. There we go. And then slightly below right here, you can see our June lows, 7294.75. So if sellers are in control and take us low, I think if we break the swing low, so if we break this swing low right here, this line, I don't see why price wouldn't run down into our June lows. So we'll have to wait and see, but that is kind of what's going on in my head right now. So we'll see what we get, but that is what's going down. NQ coming up into previous day point of control right there. So NQ. Also same kind of setup as ES, where we found support in those initial gaps from the morning, and then we're running up right now. So we'll see what happens with NQ. YM, heyo. No, I have to turn that back on. YM is testing the previous day point of control right now. YM, same setup. There it goes, yeah. So, YM moving and grooving. There's open. We've seen that gold here. All right. There's that opening bell. Once again, I do think we could see or a potential setup in my mind is a manipulation down here. So initially off the open here, a sell off down into VWAP and our 200 EMA right here. Support and our point of control is also down here. Support up into the 0.618 and 0.79 of our current hourly bearish range, which is right here. So that is kind of the idea behind everything today. So we'll see what we get. Just watching and waiting. SPY, gap up, SPY. So the gap up on SPY. Just opened up here, watching and waiting. Okay. Waiting, watching, waiting. Price just opened up. We're testing our current value area high up here. We're above the point of control. Our value area low is resting below here. We're a little overextended past the 200 EMA and VWAP, which is right here. So I'm waiting for price to see a pullback down into this level to then potentially see support back up. So right now, just watching and waiting to see a reaction. If we are bullish, I think we go up into this 618 and 79 levels on our current hourly bearish range. So that is what I'm thinking for what price might currently want to do. So I'm thinking that if we're bullish here, thinking that price could potentially go up into that hourly, 0.61879 quote unquote gold zone of the current bearish range. So we'll see if we get that, but that is what I'm thinking right now. So we're definitely, looks like price is holding. We broke above, so what's interesting is we broke above our previous day point of control, which is this blue line right here. So that is our previous day point of control. We broke above it and it looks like it's trying to hold that level. So we'll see if it does. But we broke above that previous day point of control. We're above our current point of control, testing the value area high, and we'll see what we get. So here we go, we're starting to see that sell off. What's NQ doing? NQ tested that previous day point of control. Mark that out, boom. Previous day point of control up there. That's where NQ is currently testing that right now. We are 10 minutes into market open. Not much has happened, we are just consolidating. So it's all about patience, so we're waiting. YM interesting with the spike, the sell spike down below our 200 EMA. Potentially watching this area. Issue is we're coming right into VWAP here. Yeah, if we break through that too. So what's up, Preston? Thanks for joining. Right now watching for potential manipulation down into the 200 EMA and VWAP. Support at that area to then go up and test. Turn this off. Potentially go up and test our 61879 level of our current hourly bearish range on ES. Oops. So watching for bulls to potentially take price up into that 7422.25 area. I did end up taking this beautiful long last night. Before I went to bed, I was just watching the Asia session and I saw that we had this massive bullish gap right here on the 5-minute chart, and then we kind of consolidated throughout the entire session, and discount was sitting right there at that 7403.50 area, and the previous day point of control was up there. So I just literally, I went to bed, light size, because I don't want to put a position down that I can't see. Light size, put that entry at 7366, had my stop below the low, targeting just a 1-to-1 up into that previous day point of control and that discount level. And then, woke up and price was running to the target, and I was like, cool. So we are 1 for 1 today so far, and we have some wiggle room. So we have a little bit of a cushion for risk today. So waiting to find an entry, but took that trade. Literally, I probably put that down. I don't even remember when I did it, but literally put that limit order down. I didn't get filled till 1 a.m., so I was fast asleep. And then woke up and I was like, cool, maybe I do this more often. So, but it looked too good. I mean, we opened up, had this huge gap up, not gap up, but like we had these huge bullish gaps right in here, and then we just consolidated. So I was like, oh, this looks clean for some sort of manipulation down into this zone, and then bulls step up and take us back into that 0.5. And sure enough, nailed it. So it looks like we're starting to see that support up into that 618 level from our hourly bearish range. We'll see what happens here. See what NQ's up to. Heyo. Holy. We have an untested point of control up there. Ooh. That looks like a good target for longs if we are bullish. NQ ripping. What do we have on YM? Nothing really speaking to me on YM besides this. For a potential target, might just be a play a risk to reward. All right, gold. We're seeing a push here on gold. I mean, this is the first gap after, so we tested our VWAP here on gold, and then that's the first gap we've created. So let's see if we have, so potential target up there for gold. If everything just rips today, you know, we'll see if everything rips today, but potential target for gold right there. Gold stresses me out. Gold is one of those names where I feel so nervous to take any trades. Bounce off 7410 back into 7450 area. I like it. What's up, NDZ? SPY coming up to that 200 EMA. So to push up into that 618, that hourly bearish range in this kind of, you know, quote unquote gold zone. We'll see if that brings some sort of resistance. So we'll have to see. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't think we get a full reverse to take out previous day low today. Yeah. I'm thinking, well, yesterday we had so much selling. It was so volatile yesterday that Yeah, wild day when we got off. If played right, some big money was made. I agree. I looked back after like the Fed meeting and everything. I was like, oh my god, there were like some actually solid setups. But in the heat of the moment when that shit's going crazy, I don't know. It's so hard to like think if you were thinking during that session, if you were able to like actually execute on it, different story. But you look back at hindsight and you're like, oh my god, look at all these setups here and there, here and there. But it was crazy. But yeah, with that volatility, I don't know. I don't know what we see today. And they held rates steady, which was expected. Maybe we see a little bit of a bounce, but there's still so much room to the downside with no actual support. But today, I do think we could see some general chop, maybe. Or this thing rips. Who knows? Like gold's ripping. Along the initial move for 3K. Took it and ran. Yeah. Dang. Still though, that's a solid trade. And a solid catch. So here's our opening range. Just broke out of the opening range with a gap, which is interesting. It appears it doesn't want to take. I'm telling you, it's just gonna be another one of those days where we could just see the move happen right at open. It's happened all week. It just goes right at open, rips to the upside, and then consolidates. So. But once again, we're so extended past VWAP and our 200 EMA. I can't get myself to take a long right here, knowing that we could see just a spike down into this area. It's happened all week. We've just been so far extended past everything. And yeah, I don't know, this week's weird. This week was weird. It's probably because it was it's an interest rate week, so maybe it makes sense why it would be kind of chaotic. Hopefully today, we get some decent price action, but yeah, it's been weird. And like once again, for today, like we're looking at this here. We're so extended past everything. I just can't get myself to take a trade off that. At least YM here is showing something. Let me see. the smallest gap of all time. I do not like that. Selling pressure here, good sign. Oh, look at that recovery though. Potential for this YM entry right here. Don't know how much we trust it. Stop is 154 points. It's a fat stop. But if this thing squeezes, I don't know, crazier things have happened. Patience, I think, yeah. So on Dow here, came down, tested VWAP, 200 EMA, the smallest of gaps right there. Broke above these bearish engulfings. So 5203. 52031. 52031.
Hey. Sorry. Can I come in for a sec?
Hang on. All right, we're back. 52031. Patience, I think. Patience. Patience, you say. Okay. What is this? 154. Two, three. Okay. Where's this potential entry even at? Low 52031. 52031. 52031. 52031. after 10. My goodness. Okay. Preston, I like your style. Selling pressure here, good sign. What happens today? I mean, this is just... It's going and not stopping. NQ, holy crap. Untested point of control from... Wait. Oh no, that's been tested. NQ's ripping though. Yeah, look at that. We already took, what is that, yesterday's high? Yesterday's high, next high at that 8184 level. NQ's going crazy. Gold going crazy. Just insane. ES also going crazy. This is the only setup I decently like. It's a trade on YM. 52031. 52031. So, who knows? Everything else is ripping. Maybe this joins. I don't think I've ever actually taken a trade on YM. All right, well, we got filled into that trade, so we're gonna see what happens with this. All right. Try to scale out one at new highs. So scale out one trade at the new highs. So that would be something like that. And then the next profit target will be somewhere in here. And then our final one is up there. So we shall see. But everything else is, I don't know, too overextended. At least on YM, we're seeing movement off of our 200 EMA here. Feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Our GC's gone. GC left for the weekend. Over 15 orb high, over 200 EMA, 9 cross, 21. All indicators have room to run, taking along to yesterday high. Stop under 15 min orb low. Dang, I like the wide stop. Where was your entry? I know you trade SPY. This current price, okay. I like it. We could potentially, so on SPY, could potentially test this area. First. So we could potentially test that area first. Our 200 EMAs here, VWAP is there. So don't be surprised if we see a little bit of a pullback there. Whoa, look at gold. Gold is dumping. What did we take? Yeah, what was this? Wednesday high? Wednesday high on gold, and now we're seeing a spike. It's interesting. We'll see if, there we go. So we're starting to test those bullish gaps that broke us out of our opening range here on ES. Same on NQ. So we'll see if we find support here. Who? Is it gonna sell from here? We're just gonna sell off. I want to see SPY here hold that 200 EMA. I mean, in terms of this area right here, so if SPY can break and start to run, like looking at the histogram over here on our volume profile, sorry, you probably can't see, there's not a lot of volume that occurred through here. So it just kind of spiked and went down. So that being said, if we do break and start to move, it should run through this fairly quickly if it wants to. There's not a lot of, you know, resistance or anything that was it just kind of quickly went and then down. So if it wants to go, it should be able to run through that fairly quickly, but you know, it's all speculation. We'll see if that happens. The only issue on SPY is this gap right here. So if it wants to fill that gap up from the next day, that's the problem. You know, maybe it wants to move up more before, but you know, stalling out here on this YM trade, stalling out hard. NQ's seen some movement. GC inverted these gaps, created new ones after taking, what is that one again? Wednesday's high. Yesterday's high, sorry. Just mark that out. Taking the previous day high, seeing resistance. It's again overextended. I mean, if it holds this one standard deviation band, I guess that'd be a good sign. So it looks like we're seeing support out of these gaps. Once again, if we start to run, there is not much resistance here. Like on our volume profile, not much. Low volume up here. And yesterday, or 2 days ago, sure, we have a previous point of control right there. So we'll just mark that out. It's a high volume area right there. So we'll see. But I think, you know, if you're in this SPY trade, that 741 area, you might want to keep your eye open. A lot of volume down here in terms of today's session. I mean, we have our point of control there, but a lot of volume right there, which is nice. But we're just rejecting. Yeah, look at this, just rejecting. It's gonna want to sell. Why would it want to sell? Oops. Chopping. Everything's chopping. Gearing up for some sort of move. I don't know where. Would think to the upside, but you know, we planned for this upside move into that 618 level. I don't know. Potentially sells off. Just kind of consolidating. I mean, after entering this trade on the Dow, it's just been straight sideways. Oh, love when that happens. Oops. All right. I'm going to grab another cup of coffee, but I will be back. All right, we're back. Okay, so everything's moving up, but YM. Like NQ's ripping again. Gold, not so much. Gold, I would not be shocked if we see some life from right here. We see some life from here, potential. Although you put your stop right at VWAP, which, you know, it's never good. mean, my stop has room, so you can come down and test our 200 EMA again. That's fine. Seeing some life. Seeing some life. Look who decided to join the party. Shieldy, haven't seen you in a few days. Look who decided to join the party. This guy. This guy decided to join. He said, I was bored, so I wanted to come and trade. Now he's biting my hand. Look at that. He's bringing in the buyers. Oh, well, hit the keyboard. Hit the keyboard. Nice. What are you using, Shieldy? Did you pick up one of those Lucid accounts? Very small lot sizes. I like it. I like it though. Okay, so everything made new highs except for YM. That's fabulous. $100K funded. I like it. I still think the 50Ks are the best bang for your buck. Did you take the sell at the high of today? No. I did not. Everything. I don't like to play reversals. And we're extended past our VWAP and 200 EMA. I got in at 4118. Bam, 4-1. For one. So I'm like blind right now. All the way over here. Like to see it. I'm looking at this gap on gold right now, this 5-minute gap right here. But I mean, if we test this area right here, I'll probably void the trade. But thinking, come down here, test this, which was kind of like first presented at New York Open here, and it was the first presented off this VWAP test, so up into that area, but you know, we'll have to see. But YM is the only name right now that was at our VWAP and 200 EMA, so I decided to take a trade, and I have not enjoyed it at all. I mean, this is just sideways as sideways can get. So, not enjoying that. And everything else is like moving to the upside. So, and also I've never traded YM until literally today. So, I'm not enjoying my time so far. Coming to this 4120. Looking at XAUSD. Hey, Bodie, get out of there. No. 4120 pending for retest. Sheila, are you trading GC or what are you looking at? 4120. Just so I can also, look at what. You're looking at GC, right? Am I crazy here? 4120. Because when I'm looking at gold, 4157's yesterday's high was 4175. Maybe I'm losing my mind though. Or you're looking at a different name. I don't know. Fresh coffee, by the way. Fresh cup of coffee. Yesterday's high 4120. Are you talking NQ? No, couldn't be NQ. Slow, slow, slow. $40 minutes of sideways action. Everything else is moving. I guess ES is pretty sideways. Gold never came down into this zone right here. Just watching this 4144.1 area. I would have wanted to just try to scalp it. So just a quick scalp into this untested bearish gap for 1.7 to 1. Gold spot US dollar. $4120. Okay. 324140. Like them zones. Yeah. So I'm looking at gold. Pop out to the hourly here. Let me get rid of some things. Definitely that high from this high right here on gold. And then big consolidation area. So right here, gold right now is trading in a large. I don't know if you can see that. That's this consolidation area from back in mid-July, 22nd-ish area. We kind of consolidated here, had a spike down, retested the area, saw another spike, came up, tested it again. So we're testing that area again on gold. We'll see if it provides, you know, resistance, but that's what I'm seeing. I mean, 1, 2, this is a third test, so we could break through it, but we'll have to see. Everything's kind of in, yeah, resistance area right now. Oh. Of course. So you're gonna try to sell up here, Shieldy, in gold. I like to sell if we can. I would want to see it at least break this or break a candle. Retesting orb. Yikes. Hopefully, retesting orb. Hopefully 40.98, then back up. So it held that gap. Let's see, you know, you still wait for a break to potentially see, you know, selling at some point down into this area. Yeah, ES selling aggressively into the opening range. On the 1 minute, Preston? Or are you talking this 5 minute one right here? Five min. Yeah. I like that. Targeting what? Just new highs? There it goes into that gap. My thing is that I know we're, you know, above the orb and everything, above VWAP. Don't like to play reversals. But we got this bearish gap out of our 618. So out of our bearish range. So zooming out here. Technically bearish range, you know. It's like, do you trust it? Like, we have potential CRT on the hourly here. So in this hourly candle, came up, tested 0.618, 0.79. This candle swept the high, and we're going to close back above, or back within it. So potential CRT. Yeah, this YM trade cooked. Never had a chance. Retired. Retire the trade. So I'm thinking a potential CRT trade right in here, targeting where those hourly lows right there, this candle. So technically 17.75 point stop. Candle just flipped green. Let's see what happens. think this, like, look at this hourly CRT. I think we go down into 7397.50. I'm about to get stopped out of my YM trade. Which is fine. It's lighter sized anyway. But I think, let's see, NQ, kind of the same. The gap there. Yeah, there goes that YM trade. The 102 point stop. Insanity. Dang. Okay. I'm gonna try this CRT play on NQ. Don't know if it's smart, but we just took all these highs out. Everything's kind of selling. All right, we just got filled into the trade. Lighter size again. So that YM trade was a half risk point. So take this. If we lose here, we'll be down a full. We're back to break even because we were up 1R from last night's trade. 7848. 7848. No, we want to go right there. 27793. He just needs to bounce here. It's almost retesting the pivot. If we get a whole gap fill, I just get back to the desk. I'm back in. I'm short. I'm going short on NQ right now. Full reversal. I don't like playing reversals, but we're going full reversal. So, I don't know. Am I going to be wrong right away? house closing. I don't know what happens. We've been selling all week though. And SPX pivot, yeah, everything's above. I'm playing a reversal, which I don't love, but here we are. Here we are. Yikes. For the stream. It's for the stream. I'm due for a dud. I haven't taken, I don't know, I haven't traded at all for the past 3 days, and I'm hitting duds left and right here. Yeah. I don't know if it's dumb to put my faith in the Bears, but here we are. I don't know. Maybe we squeeze. I'm fine with that though. We're just so extended. So again, I don't like playing reversals, but we're so extended. You know, I would think that it'd want to come back into VWAP here. In the 200 EMA. I mean, if we look at this right here. Look at this. Look at all this. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. We shall see. But, you know, we take this loss, I'll probably call it for the day. Which sucks because we gave back our profits from last night's trade. Last night's trade on ES. Where we took a long out of this massive 5-minute gap right here. Basically when the session opened up, we had that huge gap. I put a limit order down literally when I went to bed, and I targeted that previous day point of control and discount from our current bearish range 1-to-1. But I just took the L on YM here for a half R loss, and I risked another half R on NQ here, and it looks like we are recovering aggressively here. Decent push here, but we could easily recover. Decent push, but low volume right now. There's no volume on this move, so we could easily recover here. Telling you right here, this scalp on gold. One to one. I feel like gold's going to tap right into this area, and it's going to see a quick bounce. Or it's just going to rip through it. One or the other. Seen some good movement on NQ here. We're about to come into our opening range, so we'll see if that shows support, but NQ's looking decent so far. Kind of held below, so our one standard deviation band here, we broke, and then on my entry in this bearish gap, we kind of came up and tested that one standard deviation band, or showed some resistance off of it. Let's see if you know, we can hold strength here. ES is coming down into that 200 EMA. Which maybe if it comes down to that 200 EMA, maybe that's my signal somewhat to go break even on this trade. Like if ES comes down into this area right here, or if ES takes low of day, it might be a break-even situation for me. So So ES is getting close to that low of day, intraday low, New York low, sorry. Low of day is down here somewhere, yeah. But if ES takes that low of day, I'm going break even on this NQ trade, yep. So there's low of day on ES. NQ trade is now break even. We'll see if we get the flush we want to see down into target. Or this just recovers like crazy. So this trade is at break even now. Oh. Dang. Would love to see this reject right here. Come on, flip bearish. Want to see NQ reject point? No. Yeah. I'd love this candle to flip bearish here and break into that opening range. If we can break and close in that opening range, I think I'd feel a little bit better. But, you know, we're at these bullish imbalances right here that broke us out of the opening range in the first place. So it's just a lot of support here. And with ES taking that low, or that New York low down here, I'm in this NQ trade. So I got in short NQ in this bearish gap right here on the 5-minute chart. And I'm targeting, where am I targeting? 793. So at the hourly here, we wicked this hourly candle, closed back in it. So I'm targeting that hourly CRT low. We also have a bunch, we've just moved straight up. So I'm thinking, trying to play this pullback. I'm just trying to play this pullback into our VWAP, 200 EMA, and an hourly CRT. So, and this trade is at break even right now. ES took the New York low. ES is also at the 200 EMA, so this is a potential bounce spot. And NQ, we could make new highs here. If bulls are in control today, we could make new highs here. So I just want to take the risk off on this trade. And I'd like to see, you know, I'd like to see a strong break through 28,000, sorry, 28,000. That whole psych number, and also a break into the opening range. Like these gaps right here, what broke us out of the opening range. So a lot of support here that could, you know, push us into new highs. So just taking risk off, especially trying to play a reversal. Yeah, if I'm in reversals, so I'm trying to play against this trend right here. I'm going break even fairly quickly. Yeah, I think I have a feeling that this is going to tag me break even and then run. I just have that gut feeling. Maybe I don't go break even, I just shift my stop to right there. But this is me messing with my trade. Messing with my trade. We're gonna do it. Oh, there's break even. Don't say it. Don't do that to me. Well, I got tagged out of that break even. I should have just shifted my stop. I was like, ah, should I put my stop right there? Dang. So this trade is out at break even. There you go. Look at that. Oh. Well, I think I got stop hunted pretty aggressively there. Yeah, I saw that. Why did I go break even? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I should have had my stop. I should have just shifted it. Reduced risk a bit and put it right there. I knew it. Whenever I have that gut feeling that I'm going to get just like manipulated out at break even, I gotta know better. Dang, brutal. Oh, look at that. Wasn't even paying attention, but what did I say about this gap on GC? Perfect little scalping. I said we're going to tap that and rip. And look at that. We'll see if it goes anywhere. I'll probably have my stop here for now on that. Break even on this NQ trade, and it's gonna run down to my target. I just know it. Yeah. I shorted at 0.9. I wish I was still in this. I should have. I always do this. That's so frustrating. Brutal. Guess I just didn't trust the setup. Should just trusted the setup. Once this breaks, if this breaks back into the opening range, it's gonna go quick to the downside. I'm watching ES for a break below our 200 EMA. If we can break it with a gap, I'm going to take a short. NQ stopped out break even. Just going to not look at that. Yeah. Okay. Watching for potential break of our 200 EMA on ES. This has room to move. NQ has so much room to move, and it's gonna go. I just know it. It's gonna go down into that hourly low. It's like this CRT play right here. It's gonna happen. It's gonna go to that hourly low for sure. I just am sadly sidelined for it. We'll see. NQ, you want NQ to break into that opening range. It's sitting and chopping right at it. And we have all this support right here, these gaps, these bullish gaps that it's just kind of sitting in. Oh, every time I step away and it dumps when I'm in a long. I know. This is tricky. Bottom of the 15-minute ES range. Yeah, ES is at that 200 EMA as well. On our 5-minute chart. We're just consolidating here. I mean, this could break and run. So let's look at the hourly. What do we got in the hourly here? This thing could break and run. Once again, we pulled back into that bearish zone, that 61879 level. Damn, Central. No, the orb this week, orb fakeouts have been gnarly. So orb fakeouts have been insane. Where it's tricky. And bears are kind of in control. NDZ bears are kind of in control right now. So it's hard to play longs into previous day highs, but shorts into previous day lows. That's kind of what's been printing. I know, this week orb fakeouts have been wild. Especially like, yeah, I mean, the SPY, where was that? SPY, orb, break. And then just chops at that 200 EMA and then dumps below. But I said like that, there's this opening, this daily gap right here that it's just is hard to play alongs when you have such a big gap up down here that you're like, especially with bears controlling price lately, we could see the sell off to fill that gap, and I think that might potentially happen here. I would like NQ to break this high to make me feel better about my break-even stop there. I need to cope with this loss, so. QQQ VWAP holding. Watch the reject here on ES. Untested gaps up here though. Could take out early shorts at these highs here. ES going into yesterday orb. ES is at yesterday's point of control, and look at the support we're seeing at it too. So ES at the VWAP, yesterday's point of control, 200 EMA, stacked support down there. But we made equal lows right here, so likely to see ES reject. To at least take out those equal lows, test our opening range, and then we'll see if we go to the upside or break to the downside. You know, time will tell. Woo. Still, the trade my stop is way more than I wanted to be. Been there, NDZ, been there. Wouldn't be surprised if NQ, you know, wants to come up into this area. We'll see, but it looks like we're seeing some rejection here. And we got these equal lows here on ES right here at 7399. So if we come up into this area on ES, test this gap, .5 to 1, or this rejects here. We're at VWAP though. We'll see. You want to see that break through it. I feel like NQ is going to go into this gap again and try to fish for some more orders. Starts turning bullish. Took Braves money line just to feel something. Difficulty from 1 to 10. Are you just saying with price action lately? In this month market? I don't know. I think generally, I feel like most months are the same. I'm telling you, it's just like your, like, how I struggle with it is like my mentals on certain months are like good, some are bad. But like I will say this month and lately during like the week, the New York AM session has been tough. Then you go and look back at like Asia session and you know it has a lot more, I think, clean moves. So I would say that the New York AM has been kind of tricky lately, but I feel like this is just like kind of a normal dog days of summer price action. You know, this is kind of what happens. Hopefully, like once August starts to turn over and we progress through that, and then we get that September, October, you know, mid-November price action, we get some good clean moves. But dog days of summer. I think it's January till about mid-April, and then mid-April till about August are always tricky. So January to mid-April, pretty good price action. Mid-April till, you know, mid-August, early August, it's like dog days of summer, tricky. And then the fall months, so like mid-August through till like mid-November. Yeah, it's just summer price action. I don't know why. Don't know why, but summer price action. Sometimes it's just tricky. Lately, you know, there's a lot of news happening in the world right now that makes trading a little tricky. Momentum improving on ES. Yeah, so much support down there. I'm doing it. I'm putting a limit order out at 7426.75. Stop at 744.50, around 20 points. So we're gonna put that limit order down on ES. So what is that? 7426.75. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Equal lows. Okay. Basis of this ES short. Once again, it's another reversal. I'm gonna be playing 2 reversals today. Basis of the short. Down here at 7399, we have equal lows on ES. Equal lows at 7399. If we look at our hourly chart, we have an hourly CRT, so we swept this high of this hourly candle, closed within. Hourly CRT, we did not take that hourly low at 7397.75. So, equal lows down there, hourly CRT. Inside this, our 61879 level from our bearish range, giving it a stab. I don't know. Everything in my mind, this makes sense. Now we're approaching a little bit later in the session, so feels somewhat risky. So we'll see what this brings. It's another reversal trade though. Don't love reversal trades, but just I don't know. My brain is telling me that this makes sense. I'm flat. I'm gonna retest this on again. Yeah. In my brain, this makes sense. And we got some people in the stream. We're kind of at record numbers. We started last week. We're at record numbers. We got 7 people in here. It's taking a trade for the people. And taking a trade for the people, and come on, good God. Our special guest is here. Our special guest is here. Oh, it's a big yawn. So he told me I'm crazy for trying to take a short. So if I lose, Bodie was right. I was wrong. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Once again, Bodie told me not to take this short. He said it's definitely going to go long and make new highs, but I'm going against him. My order has not filled yet. Wendy, my order has not filled yet. It is at 7426.75. This is a 1 to 6, 1.6 to 1. So we traded a lot today. We got a trade in Asia session for a 1-to-1 that put us up 1R. Took us honestly, I don't know why I took this trade on YM. It was just lame trade. Took a loss there, half R. So we're up half R for the day. Took this NQ short that eventually got stopped out break even. And now we're going to take a stab at an ES short. So we're up half an R right now. So half a risk point, 0.5 risk point. This is another half R risk. So I'm not doing full risk on this. It's just half R. So if we lose this, that's break even on the day. But I like this. I like the idea of this trade. I like the concept of this trade. I like it. I like the concept of this trade. Also took out early shorts here. Tap into this gap. This might be a situation where if we enter, get a good reaction, I don't know. I gotta keep stream rolling. We got people in here. We gotta keep the stream rolling. They're cutting my loan. Yeah, I mean good spot to, if you don't trust it, the good spot if you were still in it to kind of get out at a decent spot NDZ. Because it just pulled back. It's now testing the lower portion of VWAP and under our 200 EMA. So, good spot to, get out of there. To also just, I don't know, help your mentals as well. Is it really going to reject and not tap into our zone? That would be a sad, sad, sad state of affairs right there. It's testing this bullish zone right here. Bullish gap from around 7419.25 to 7418. Seeing a good little response there. Oops, sorry. All right, what are we gonna get here? Once again, equal lows at 7399. That hourly low did not get taken for this hourly CRT potential. And then, I don't know. I don't know. The fan is out of the room. So it's not as loud as when I get the AC rolling in here. All right, we are in the trade. 7397.75. Hopefully we get at least something, you know. Hopefully we get some sort of action. I have an idea for that fan noise. I feel like that's a little better. It'd be a real shame if we don't get any reaction. We need to at least see something, you know. See, now I feel like it's better. I'm looking at my mic volume, and with the fan being closer, it was at like mid-level. Now it's looking a little better. All right, come on, ES, go to those equal lows. I know you want to. And the 200 EMAs right there. I like it. I like this trade. If I lose this trade, that's fine. I like it. Planning to move to break even if Emphasis on the if we get to VWAP. If. We got a pretty wide stop. I would think it would take a lot of effort from ES to run through all that, especially that consolidation. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. We got 8 people in. It's record numbers, everyone. Appreciate it. Let's hope this trade pans out for us. Here for the goat. Yeah, okay. Appreciate that. Listen, once we make it big, I'm gonna be a watch collector. How do you guys feel about that? Once we make it big, we're going to be watch enthusiasts and watch collectors. But cool watches. I think like some of the watches that cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars are like lame. So I like these, I don't know. For some reason, my entire algorithm lately has been just all watches. But I'm no longer going to wear an Apple Watch. I'm ditching the Apple Watch. And I'm just... You on stock, TikTok, for some reason I get them too. I'm no longer wearing the Apple Watch. I'm just going to try to wear like fun watches. And then, you know, once we make it, once the live and we're printing, we're all going to buy Rolexes. We're all going to show up on stream with our Rollies. At least we're getting some movement here. I didn't want the trade to just test and then run up to the stop. So we're getting some movement, I guess. Solid plan, yeah. Thanks. True, that's number one. But once you're at that, you know, you got a little discretionary. Just two nice pieces. One every day, and then one super fancy one for big events. 7431 is the spot to watch on ES. Yeah. I mean, this right here, this entire consolidation area. I don't want it to invert this gap. That would be not so good. look at that gap that I called out on gold. Just sometimes you just gotta just commit to it. Yeah, but that gap on gold printed, which does not give me a lot of confidence in ES shorting to the downside. NYM with a full recovery here. Not looking good. That is a strong candle closure right there. Yikes. Yesterday orb 178188. So I guess NQ was a good break even because I would have gotten stopped out. That's fine. Yes, this might have been a bad trade. Might have not been the best trade. And we'll put it down in the journal too as, you know, a failed reversal attempt. You know, I know that most of my losses, if not all, not all, but most of my losses come from failed reversal attempts. I know that. But here we are. Just a FYI for everyone, I am traveling tomorrow, so I won't be on stream. So if you're looking for the stream tomorrow morning, I won't be live trading because I will be at the airport. Honestly, I'll probably be on a plane in the air at market open. So just an FYI, no stream tomorrow. I'm traveling, but we'll be back. This is the only, like, you know, we'll be on stream for the next, you know, months, pretty much till the end of the year, consistently every day. So no stream tomorrow morning. I will be traveling, but we'll be back Monday morning ready to roll. So, once again, no stream tomorrow morning. So if you're looking for the stream, you won't see it. But we'll be back Monday. Ugh. The continuation play. So yesterday, point of control, VWAP, 200 EMA down here. Had this nice little gap displacement. 2.4 to 1. That's the continuation play. Is that going to play out? Why? I don't know why I got caught up in these equal lows down here and caught up in, you know, that hourly CRT, and I got caught up in this bearish zone right here. And I went against the trending indicators, and right now it's saying, why'd you do that? It's saying, why would you do that? Okay, I'll be back. Give me a minute. Well, yeah, this is cooked. And oh, sorry, this says this trade on MES is still alive. It had not gotten stopped out. Oh, now it's gonna go. And there it goes. Oh, well, that's break even on the day. 2 losses YM manipulated out of this trade. Now it's ripping to the upside. NQ break even. Break even there. ES never had a chance. Went against two reversals. YM was a trend continuation, but was just too early on it. It's just too early. Got caught in this consolidation and then manipulated down. Took me out. Now it's running to, targets. NQ reversal trade. Break even, and then ES reversal trade loss. Deservedly so. That's why you don't play reversals. We come down here. I just got lost into the equal highs down there and the hourly CRT, and we were in this key bearish zone as well right there. So I got squeezed out of that trade. So we gave back our 1-to-1 trade from last night, which is honestly probably why I was like overly aggressive today trading. I was also just going against, it's going against the trend. Tried to play reversals, paid the price. Had this GC zone marked out, did not take. It's always the ones you mark out and you don't take are the ones that print. ES, honestly, the trade was right in here at 7419.25. And look at how we reacted off of. There was so much support there. And I went against my better judgment through the entire thing. Previous day point of control, VWAP, 200 EMA, so much support down there, and then I didn't take anything off of that support. It's the mental game of this. You get lost in the traps that are set. Alright. Well, hopefully we didn't just get, stop hunted out of this trade. If we do, and this reverses all the way back down here, what an insane day. And I don't know. If that happens, it would be an insane day. So, I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. Dang. Once again, Asia session took this one-to-one trade off these bullish gaps into our previous day point of control. Just took a loss here on ES, trying to short in 7426.75 down to these equal lows and our hourly CRT low, where if we go to the hourly here, you can see that on the hourly chart we swept this high, closed back within it, took it short, trying to target those lows, and I got stopped out. And then NQ, we took a short in this gap, targeting the lows here. Moved that to break even once ES took the lows. So break even on that trade. And then YM took it long off of this push off our 200 EMA near open. Ended up getting caught in this manipulation leg, and now price is moving to the upside. So got kind of manipulated out of that YM trade. But those three trades, 2 losses, both at a half risk. So 1 full risk loss during a New York session, and we had a 1-to-1 in Asia. So we were up an R going into today and then gave it back, sadly. But that's the day. But I think that's all for the stream. I've been streaming for 3 hours now. I'm going to try to crank out some trade recaps, post them, and then once again tomorrow I'm traveling, won't be on stream, but we'll be back Monday, and we'll be streaming all week. So that's the plan. But yeah, thanks for joining. We had quite a few people in the stream today, so it's growing every day. We're growing. Cool. See you Monday. Have a good weekend. Yeah. See you too. We're growing. Join the stream. And we'll be back on Monday. But see you guys.